Welcome to episode 18 of the Queen's Lariat podcast. I'm your host, AJ, and today we have a double header, a two for one. Today we're going to be talking about two marigold wrestlers, Mai Sakurai and Mirai. But before that, please like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube, and like, share, and follow on X at Queen's Lariat. All right, we're going to start here with Mai Sakurai. Mai Sakurai debuted for Actress Girls on February 11th of 2020. She is a one-time and the current United National Champion in Marigold. She is a one-time Twin Star Champion with Mirai and a one-time Artist of Stardom Champion with Donna Del Mondo, which was Julia, Thekla, and Mai Sakurai as the champions. A little fun fact about Mai, she goes by the nickname Kufajin. And I might not be saying that correct, but it's basically a rich person. She goes by that name because I know in one interview she did state that she grew up, pretty well off. But some of my favorite Mai Sakurai matches is the one she had in Marigold against Julia. The tag team match she had in Marigold, her and Mirai versus Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki. And also another Marigold match she had. It was the finals of the Dreamstar Grand Prix last year against Utami Hayashishita. Some of my thoughts and opinions about Mai Sakurai is I think Mai Sakurai is an underrated wrestler, and I think she really broke out in Marigold. So if you only know her from Stardom and her work from Stardom as basically a lackey for Julia, I would suggest and advise you to watch her work in Marigold because it truly is phenomenal, and she is one of the cornerstones there in Marigold. Her character work is really solid too in Marigold as well. Some of the things I really like is her matches. A lot of her United National matches comes with like stipulations. Like the match she had against Chiaki, it was for I forgot how much money it was, but it was for a lot of money. And at the end of that match, Chiaki ended up stealing the briefcase that had all the money in it. And then another match she had against Chan Yoda. If Chan Yoda lost, she had to agree to become Mai's personal trainer. And then I think it was another match against Erin. I forgot her last name, but she's also in Marigold. And if she lost, she had to become Mai's yoga instructor. But that's just some fun things about Mai's character. As a wrestler, I think Mai is like her. She's she's become more of, I don't want to say brutal, but more impactful in the ring after that match she had against Julia. I like to joke and say that Julia imbued Mai with some of her wrestling traits before she left to go to WWE, because she's become very I want to say tough, a little more stiffer since that match with Julia. But I think it's like she's able to stand on her own 2 feet now. She's not in Julia's shadow anymore. Like a weight has been lifted off of her, and she can really prove herself now that you know she isn't in the shadow of someone. And I'm really happy for Mai. And like I said, I think Mai is a very good worker, and like she's one of the cornerstones over there in Marigold. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go into our spotlight now of Mirai. Mirai made her wrestling debut in 2019 for Tokyo Joshi Pro. She is a one-time Twin Star champion with Mai Sakurai, a one-time Wonder of Stardom champion She is a one-time Goddess of Stardom champion with Ami Sori, and she is a two-time Cinderella tournament winner in 2022 and 2023. Some of my favorite Mirai matches is the one she had, I think it was the final of the United National Tournament with Miku Ano. Her match against Siri Yamamoka in Siri Yamamoka's debut match. And of course, that tag team match with her and Mai against Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki. Some of my thoughts on Mirai is, once again, I think she used the opportunity of going to Marigold to really show why she was deserving of winning the Cinderella tournament twice and being a Wonder of Stardom champion. I know a lot of people watching her in Stardom weren't big fans of hers. And I kind of, when I started watching Stardom, Mirai really didn't set the world on fire for me in Stardom. I just kind of thought she was a little boring and her matches were a little slow. But it is night and day in Marigold. Mirai in Marigold almost seems like a different wrestler to me than Mirai in Stardom. I will say this about Mirai. I think Mirai is one of the best technical wrestlers in the world right now, and she is so underrated. She is a very solid presence in Marigold. I know she trains a lot with the girls, but she is, like I said with my Sakurai, a cornerstone in Marigold. And I expect for her to carry both the United National and the Marigold World Championship one day. And she's only, I think, like 25, so she's still very young. But like I said, Mirai is one of my favorite wrestlers over there in Marigold, and a very underrated technical wrestler. But those were just some of my thoughts on Mirai. Like I said, it's like night and day from her being in Marigold and being in Stardom. She really got a chance to kind of settle into that role of one of the best in-ring workers in Marigold. But I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of Mirai and Marigold. But that was my episode of the two superstar spotlight today. I decided to put them together because they are kind of like on a similar path where both took the chance to, leave Stardom, and, they took a huge risk in their career. And I think it really paid off for both of them. But thank you for listening. If you like podcast episodes like this, we do have a playlist called Queen's Lariat with my other episodes. I have other superstar spotlights from WWE, Marigold, and Stardom. Remember to like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube. Like, share, and follow on X at Queen's Lariat. Thank you. I'm out.